Okay, so get this. We're diving into some pretty interesting stuff today.
Right.
You sent over this clip of Katt Williams talking about ancient knowledge and hidden technologies.
Right.
And wow, he throws out some wild concepts.
Yeah?
So we're definitely going to need your help breaking down these ideas and separating fact from speculation.
Oh, absolutely.
Were ancient temples more like universities? Could myths actually hold clues about, like, advanced tech?
Mm.
And did the pyramids have a purpose we haven't even considered? I mean,
It's fascinating how Williams uses humor to kind of introduce these ideas that have captivated people for centuries.
yeah,
This idea that ancient civilizations might have been more advanced than we give them credit for is a popular one.
Right.
And he definitely knows how to make it entertaining.
totally. But let's get specific.
Yeah.
He kicks things off by suggesting that maybe ancient temples weren't just for worship,
Right.
but were actually centers of learning,
Okay.
kind of like our universities today. What do you make of that?
It's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
And it really challenges us to reconsider what we think we know about ancient societies and their priorities.
Right.
It's true that temples were often the most prominent and elaborate structures in ancient cities.
Yeah.
But does that automatically make them universities? We need to look at the evidence.
Right. Like, what kind of evidence would support that idea?
Well, there are some historical examples that might back up this theory.
Okay.
Think about the Library of Ashurbanipal in ancient Mesopotamia.
Okay.
It was housed within a temple complex and contained thousands of clay tablets,
Wow.
covering a wide range of subjects from history and literature to astronomy and medicine. Similarly, in ancient Egypt, the House of Life,
Okay.
also associated with temples, was a place where scribes and priests studied medicine, magic, and even astronomy.
Wow.
So while we can't say all temples were universities,
Yeah.
some definitely played a role in preserving and transmitting knowledge.
Okay, so some temples acted as knowledge repositories.
Yeah.
But Williams also suggests that we should look to ancient myths for clues about advanced knowledge.
Interesting.
He mentions the Sumerian god Enki and the Egyptian god Thoth,
Huh?
both associated with bringing knowledge to humanity.
Right.
Isn't that a bit of a stretch?
Well, it's easy to dismiss myths as just stories,
Right.
but they often reflect a culture's beliefs and understanding of the world.
Sure.
It's true that across many cultures, the origins of complex ideas or technologies
Yeah.
are often attributed to divine or otherworldly beings. It's like they were trying to make sense of something that seemed beyond their comprehension.
So you're saying these myths could be symbolic representations of how ancient people explained acquiring knowledge that seemed almost magical to them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Think about it. If you suddenly encountered a technology far beyond anything you'd ever seen before, wouldn't you struggle to explain it?
Right.
You might attribute it to something supernatural or otherworldly.
I guess that makes sense. So where do the Anunnaki fit into all of this? Williams brings them up and mentions something called a timekeeping compass.
Ah, the Anunnaki.
Yeah, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
They've been a source of fascination and speculation for a long time,
Right.
especially for those interested in ancient mysteries.
Yeah.
But a timekeeping compass, what could that even be?
Yeah, Williams seems to suggest it's evidence of their advanced technology.
Okay.
But how can we know for sure? Is there any actual evidence to support this?
It's important to distinguish between what we know for certain
Okay.
and what is speculation. While the Anunnaki are prominent in ancient Mesopotamian mythology, their depiction with this timekeeping compass is not a universally accepted concept. We see various symbols and objects in ancient art, and interpreting them accurately requires careful analysis.
Okay.
We can't just assume a device is high-tech based on its appearance.
Okay, so we need to be cautious about jumping to conclusions. But what about this idea that the Anunnaki somehow influenced human civilization?
Right.
That's a popular theory in certain circles.
It is, but it's important to approach these claims with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Okay.
While the Anunnaki feature prominently in ancient myths,
Yeah.
their existence as real physical beings who interacted with humans is not supported by mainstream archaeology or history.
So we're venturing into the realm of the unknown here.
Yeah,
It's exciting, but also a bit tricky to navigate.
it is.
We need to balance our curiosity with critical thinking.
Absolutely, and that's what makes this exploration so engaging.
Right.
It's a chance to dive into intriguing possibilities while staying grounded in evidence and reason.
Okay, so we've tackled temples as potential learning centers,
Yes.
myths as possible clues to advanced knowledge, and even touched on the ever-popular Anunnaki.
Right.
What other rabbit holes does Katt Williams lead us down?
Well, he brings up the Emerald Tablet,
Okay.
an ancient text shrouded in mystery and often associated with alchemy and Hermetic philosophy. Have you ever heard of it?
Vaguely. I know it's a pretty cryptic text, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's attributed to Hermes Trismegistus,
Okay.
a legendary figure who's a fascinating blend of Greek and Egyptian mythology.
Wow.
The text itself is short,
Okay.
but packed with symbolism and obscure language. It's been interpreted in countless ways throughout history.
Okay, so we're talking about a super old, super mysterious text.
Yes.
How does this connect to our discussion about ancient knowledge?
Well, the Emerald Tablet contains the famous phrase, as above, so below,
Right.
which encapsulates the Hermetic principle of correspondence.
Okay.
This idea suggests that the microcosm, or the individual, reflects the macrocosm,
Okay.
the universe as a whole. In other words, by understanding ourselves and our world, we can unlock the secrets of the universe.
Whoa, that's pretty deep.
Yeah.
So is Williams suggesting that this ancient text holds the key to unlocking some profound universal knowledge?
He seems to be pointing to the idea that ancient wisdom, often expressed in cryptic or symbolic language, might contain insights that are still relevant today. He even mentions that Nikola Tesla, the brilliant inventor, was fascinated by texts like the Emerald Tablet.
That's pretty interesting. Tesla was definitely ahead of his time.
He was.
So are we saying ancient texts could be a source of scientific or technological breakthroughs?
Well, it's certainly a thought-provoking idea.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that interpreting these ancient texts is incredibly complex.
Sure.
Their meaning is often debated.
Yeah.
And it's easy to project our own modern understanding onto them.
Okay, so we need to be cautious about reading too much into these ancient texts.
Yes.
But we can still appreciate their potential to inspire new ways of thinking.
Absolutely.
But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something even bigger, literally.
Okay.
Katt Williams makes a bold statement about the pyramids of Egypt. He claims that no people built the pyramids.
Wow.
Where is he going with that?
Yes, the pyramids.
Right. I mean, they're incredibly massive and complex structures.
They are.
And they've stood for thousands of years.
They have always been a source of wonder and speculation.
Right.
Williams isn't the first to question their true purpose and how they were built.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
While the conventional explanation is that they were tombs built by thousands of laborers
Right.
using simple tools.
Yeah.
Some people find that hard to believe. Williams, for example, points to the lack of soot inside the pyramids, suggesting they weren't illuminated with traditional methods like torches.
That's a good point. The pyramids contain intricate carvings and paintings.
Yes.
How could they have created such detailed artwork in complete darkness?
It's a valid question
Yeah.
that fuels alternative theories about the pyramid's function and construction.
Okay, so maybe they weren't just tombs.
Right.
What other possibilities are out there?
Well, some suggest they were used for astronomical observations, or even as giant energy generators. Williams specifically puts forth the idea that the pyramids were power plants,
Power plants.
possibly harnessing geothermal energy
Wow.
from the hot water springs found beneath them.
That's a wild theory, but I guess we shouldn't completely dismiss it.
Right.
After all, ancient civilizations demonstrated impressive knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and engineering.
Precisely. And we see evidence of incredible stonework in ancient sites all over the globe. Think about Stonehenge, Machu Picchu, or even Pumapunku in Bolivia,
Yeah.
with its perfectly fitted, massive stone blocks.
Wow.
These achievements make us wonder if we've underestimated the capabilities of ancient builders.
Okay, I'm starting to see why people are so fascinated by this idea of lost or hidden ancient technologies. It really makes you question what we think we know about the past.
Exactly, and that's precisely the point Katt Williams is trying to make.
Okay.
He's challenging us to question conventional narratives and to consider the possibility that ancient civilizations might have possessed knowledge and technologies that we've long forgotten.
It's definitely a thought-provoking perspective.
It is.
He's basically saying that we've been misled to believe that ancient people were less intelligent than us. But maybe that's not the case at all.
He's arguing that intelligence can manifest in different ways throughout history.
Okay.
Perhaps ancient civilizations had forms of knowledge and understanding that we haven't even begun to grasp. And that's something worth exploring further, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And it seems like we're just scratching the surface here.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground already, but there's still so much more to uncover.
Definitely. Before we get too carried away with this idea of pyramids as power plants,
Right.
let's take a step back and consider the evidence.
Okay.
While it's true that the construction of the pyramids required a high level of skill and precision,
Yeah.
we also have extensive archaeological evidence demonstrating how they were built.
Right. I've seen documentaries showing how they might have used ramps and levers to move those massive stones.
Exactly.
It's still impressive, even if it wasn't some kind of alien technology.
Exactly. And we shouldn't underestimate the ingenuity and resourcefulness of the ancient Egyptians. They clearly had a sophisticated understanding of engineering principles
Right.
and a highly organized workforce.
Yeah.
While there are still mysteries surrounding the pyramids, attributing their construction to something supernatural or extraterrestrial requires extraordinary evidence.
Okay, so let's not discount the capabilities of ancient humans just yet.
Right.
But Katt Williams also brings up Pumapunku in Bolivia, those incredible ruins with massive stone blocks that fit together so perfectly.
Right.
He seems to be implying that that kind of precision couldn't have been achieved with simple tools.
Pumapunku is undoubtedly an impressive sight,
Yeah.
and the precision of its stonework is remarkable.
Right.
But again, we need to be careful about jumping to conclusions.
Okay.
Archaeologists have studied Pumapunku extensively, and while there's still debate about the exact techniques used, there are plausible explanations that don't involve lost ancient technologies or extraterrestrial intervention.
So you're saying we shouldn't rule out the possibility that ancient civilizations, even without modern tools, could have achieved remarkable things.
Precisely. We often underestimate the ingenuity and skill of people in the past. Just because we don't fully understand how they accomplished something doesn't mean it was impossible for them to do so.
That's a good reminder to stay open-minded, but also critical in our assessment of the evidence.
Absolutely.
Katt Williams also makes a thought-provoking statement towards the end of the clip.
Okay.
He says, "The greatest trick is to make us believe that people back then were dumber and were smarter." What do you think he's getting at there?
I think he's challenging this notion of linear progress.
Okay.
This idea that human intelligence has steadily increased over time.
Right.
It's a common assumption, but is it necessarily true?
Yeah, it's like we assume we're at the pinnacle of human evolution.
Right.
And that everyone before us was somehow less evolved or intelligent.
But what if intelligence isn't a straight line? What if it's more cyclical or even multidimensional? Different cultures throughout history have possessed unique forms of knowledge and understanding that we may have lost touch with.
That's an interesting perspective. It makes me think about indigenous cultures around the world who have a deep connection to nature and a profound understanding of their environment.
Right.
Their knowledge isn't necessarily based on scientific methods, but it's incredibly valuable nonetheless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And perhaps ancient civilizations had similar forms of knowledge that we've dismissed or overlooked. Their understanding of astronomy, mathematics, or even spirituality might have been different from ours,
Right.
but that doesn't make it less valuable.
So maybe the key isn't just about uncovering ancient technologies and secrets,
Right.
but about recognizing different ways of knowing and understanding the world.
Exactly.
Katt Williams talks about a source of knowledge, something that connects us all to something greater than ourselves. Is that what he's referring to?
He seems to be hinting at a deeper wellspring of wisdom that we can tap into if we open our minds to the possibility.
Okay.
This idea of a universal source of knowledge has been explored by philosophers and mystics throughout history.
So this isn't just about digging up ancient artifacts or deciphering ancient texts,
Right.
but about tapping into a more fundamental level of understanding.
Exactly.
It's like we're on an archaeological dig, not just for physical treasures, but for ancient wisdom that can help us navigate the challenges of our own time.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
By exploring the past, we might also find a path forward, a way to reclaim a sense of wonder and connection that's been lost in our modern world.
Okay, I'm totally on board with this idea of a knowledge treasure hunt, but let's be realistic for a moment.
Okay.
We're getting caught up in the excitement of Katt Williams' ideas,
Right.
but it's important to remember that we're dealing with a lot of speculation here.
Yeah.
How do we balance our enthusiasm with critical thinking when exploring these topics?
You're absolutely right. It's crucial to approach these subjects with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Okay.
While it's fascinating to consider alternative explanations for ancient mysteries,
Yeah.
We can't just accept any claim at face value.
Right.
We need to be discerning.
So how do we sift through the evidence and determine what's plausible and what's pure fantasy?
It's a constant challenge for historians, archaeologists, and researchers.
Right.
We need to carefully examine the available evidence, considering multiple perspectives and interpretations.
Okay.
And we need to be aware of our own biases and preconceived notions.
We can't just cherry-pick the evidence that supports our pre-existing beliefs, right?
Disaster.
We need to be open to being challenged and having our assumptions questioned.
Exactly. And sometimes the most important discoveries come from asking the right questions, even if we don't have all the answers yet.
Okay, I'm ready to put on my archaeologist hat and start digging for answers.
Right.
But before we go any further, let's recap what we've covered so far in this deep dive.
Excellent idea. We started by exploring Katt Williams' suggestion that ancient temples might have functioned as centers of learning,
Right.
much like modern-day universities.
Yeah.
We looked at examples like the Library of Ashurbanipal and the Egyptian House of Life, which housed vast collections of knowledge.
And we discussed how ancient myths, often dismissed as mere stories, could hold clues about the origins of knowledge and technology.
Right.
The idea being that they might reflect how ancient people explained acquiring knowledge that seemed advanced or even magical to them.
We then delved into the fascinating realm of the Anunnaki, those enigmatic Mesopotamian deities, and explored the idea of their timekeeping compass. We emphasized the importance of separating fact from speculation and critically evaluating claims about their influence on human civilization.
And of course, we couldn't resist diving into the mysteries of the pyramids,
Of course not.
questioning their purpose and exploring the possibility that they served functions beyond just tombs. We discussed the evidence for and against alternative theories, acknowledging the ingenuity of the ancient Egyptians while also maintaining a healthy skepticism.
Throughout our discussion, we've stressed the importance of challenging conventional narratives and considering alternative perspectives.
Right.
We've also highlighted the need for a balanced approach, recognizing that while speculation can be fun, it's essential to ground our explorations in evidence and reason.
I feel like we've covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much more to explore. Where do we go from here?
Well, now that we've explored some of the more speculative ideas about ancient knowledge and hidden technologies,
Okay.
I think it's time to shift our focus to something a bit more tangible.
Okay.
Let's look at specific examples of ancient innovations and inventions that demonstrate their impressive capabilities.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What kind of examples are we talking about?
Let's start with ancient astronomy.
Okay.
Did you know that many ancient civilizations were incredibly skilled astronomers? They tracked the movements of the stars and planets with remarkable accuracy.
Wow.
And they developed sophisticated calendars based on their observations.
I've heard about the Mayan calendar, but I don't know much about it.
The Mayan calendar is a great example. It's incredibly complex and precise, and it demonstrates a deep understanding of astronomical cycles.
Wow.
The Mayans accurately predicted eclipses and solstices, and their calendar system was intricately linked to their religious beliefs and rituals.
Wow. That's really impressive. It makes you wonder how they achieved that level of accuracy without modern telescopes and computers.
It's a testament to their ingenuity and observational skills.
Right.
They use tools like observatories, sundials, and even the alignment of their buildings to track the movements of celestial bodies.
So they were essentially using their environment and their architectural skills as tools for astronomical observation.
Oh.
That's pretty amazing. What other examples of ancient innovation do you have up your sleeve?
Let's talk about ancient medicine.
Okay.
While some ancient medical practices might seem strange or even dangerous to us today,
Right.
there's no denying that ancient civilizations made significant advancements in the field of healing.
I've heard about ancient Egyptians using honey and herbs for medicinal purposes.
That's right. The ancient Egyptians had a surprisingly advanced understanding of anatomy and surgery. They used herbs, minerals, and even animal products to treat a wide range of ailments.
Okay.
And they developed surgical techniques for setting bones and treating wounds.
It's fascinating how they were able to develop these practices without the scientific knowledge we have today.
They relied heavily on observation experimentation and the passing down of knowledge through generations.
Right.
And in some cases, their practices were surprisingly effective.
Okay, so we've got ancient astronomy and ancient medicine. What other areas of innovation should we explore?
Well, how about ancient engineering?
Okay.
The construction of massive structures like the pyramids and Stonehenge is just one example of their engineering prowess.
Right.
They also developed sophisticated irrigation systems, water management techniques, and even early forms of transportation.
I'm picturing those Roman aqueducts. Those impressive structures that transported water over long distances.
Exactly. The Romans were master engineers.
Yeah.
Their aqueducts, roads, and bridges are still standing today, a testament to their skill and ingenuity.
It's incredible to think about how these ancient innovations have shaped our world and continue to inspire us today. But I'm also curious about the role that ancient knowledge might play in our future.
Yeah.
Earlier, we talked about this idea of rediscovering lost wisdom. What are your thoughts on that?
I think there's a lot of potential there.
Okay.
As we face increasing challenges in the modern world like climate change, resource depletion, and social unrest,
Yeah.
we might find valuable insights by looking to the past.
So you're saying ancient knowledge could offer solutions to modern problems?
Perhaps. Ancient civilizations had to adapt to changing environments, manage resources sustainably, and find ways to live in harmony with nature.
Right.
Their knowledge and practices might offer valuable lessons for us today.
That's a really hopeful perspective. It's like looking to the past for guidance on how to create a better future. But how do we access this ancient knowledge? Where do we even begin to look?
Well, we have a wealth of resources available to us.
Okay.
There are archaeological sites, ancient texts, and even living traditions that hold valuable insights. It's about approaching these sources with an open mind, a willingness to learn, and a respect for the cultures that produce them.
It sounds like a fascinating and potentially rewarding journey. But I'm also aware that there are ethical considerations involved in exploring and utilizing ancient knowledge.
You're absolutely right. We need to be mindful of the potential impact of our actions
Right.
and ensure that we're not exploiting or appropriating cultural heritage for our own gain. It's essential to approach this exploration with humility, sensitivity, and a commitment to collaboration and respect.
Okay, so it's about finding a balance between curiosity and responsibility.
Yes.
We need to be excited about the potential discoveries, but also aware of the potential consequences.
Exactly. And we need to remember that this is an ongoing process.
Okay.
There's always more to learn, more to uncover, and more to understand.
Well, this conversation has definitely sparked my curiosity. I'm eager to learn more about specific examples of ancient innovations and how we can apply those lessons to the challenges we face today.
I'm glad to hear it. It's exciting to share this journey of discovery with someone as enthusiastic as you.
Wow. It feels like we've been on this incredible journey
Has been.
through time, exploring these fascinating ideas about ancient knowledge and hidden technologies.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think about the ingenuity and resourcefulness of ancient civilizations and how they managed to accomplish so much with the tools and resources they had available.
Absolutely. It's a testament to human potential and the power of observation, experimentation, and collective learning.
Right.
It challenges us to rethink our assumptions about progress
Yeah.
and to appreciate the diverse ways in which knowledge has been generated and preserved throughout history.
We started off with this clip of Katt Williams, who really got us thinking outside the box about ancient temples, myths, the Anunnaki, and even the pyramids.
He did.
He definitely knows how to spark a conversation.
He does.
But as we delve deeper, we realize that separating fact from speculation is crucial,
Right.
especially when dealing with ancient mysteries and the allure of the unknown.
Right. It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of alternative theories and bold claims.
Yeah.
But it's important to approach these topics with a critical eye,
Yeah.
to examine the evidence carefully, and to consider multiple perspectives.
Right.
We have to be willing to question our own assumptions and be open to the possibility that we might be wrong.
I think that's one of the biggest takeaways for me from this deep dive.
Yeah.
It's not just about uncovering ancient secrets or proving or disproving Katt Williams's claims.
Right.
It's about cultivating a sense of curiosity, a willingness to learn, and a healthy skepticism.
Exactly. It's about embracing the mystery and the wonder of the past,
Yeah.
while also grounding our explorations in reason and evidence.
Right.
And it's about recognizing that the study of ancient knowledge is an ongoing process, a continuous journey of discovery with no definitive endpoint.
So what's the one thing you hope listeners walk away with from this deep dive? What's the most important message you want to leave them with?
I think the most important message is this. The past is not a static, closed book. It's a dynamic, ever-evolving source of knowledge and inspiration that can inform our present and shape our future.
Okay.
By exploring ancient wisdom innovations and ways of life, we can gain valuable insights into our own humanity and our place in the grand scheme of things.
That's beautifully put.
Thank you.
And I think it perfectly captures the spirit of this deep dive.
Yeah.
We've explored some incredible ideas, challenged conventional thinking, and hopefully sparked a sense of wonder and curiosity in our listeners.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe this deep dive will inspire some listeners to embark on their own explorations, to dig a little deeper into the mysteries of the past, and to uncover new insights that can help us create a better future.
Well, on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into ancient knowledge and hidden technologies. It's been an incredible journey, and we want to thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep your minds open to the infinite possibilities that lie within the depths of human history.